I thought it was time that I talked about the Mario Brothers, and I was inspired a little bit by a post I saw by one of the Dreaming Women, Dana the Magician. I'll put her handle down below. I've been wanting to speak about the Mario Brothers, but I was a little worried about it, you know? It's a really sensitive topic. But I just want to say a very small thing about it, and that is that my, intuitive impression is that Lewis, the person who was actually taken into custody, is not the actual perpetrator. But in fact, there is a group, we'll call them the Mario Brothers, who are responsible. And it's part of something a lot bigger than what we're seeing right now. And so I was just listening to Dana, and I have this gift called resonance, where I can listen to things that are said, and I can get information kind of through a back channel about their truthiness. um, and so I'm combining my resonant reaction to what a few people have said and to what I received at the time of the event. So, of course, we have a lot of evidence to suggest that Lewis is probably not um, the perpetrator, right? So, just a lot of details about the case don't really add up. And so we can kind of logically conclude that, maybe this doesn't exactly make sense. But what I'm actually tapping into is some intuitive hit that I got. I just got right away when I saw the face of Lewis that Lewis was not the mastermind of this thing. And it also just does feel like something very well planned out, something well thought out, something that involves a number of players, that this video game includes a lot of different players, and that um, the event that got the attention of the little blue characters in the game, um, that was kind of just one event in a very long game. So if we think of this as a video game, and this is for entertainment purposes only, so this is just a story, this is me chatting about a video game. And, we have this video game, and in the video game we have different characters. And one of the characters is Lewis. And then we have these little blue characters that are in charge of, regulating and making sure that people follow the rules. And so the little blue characters, it's kind of their job every time there's one of these events of rule breaking for them to kind of show up and grab the first character they find that looks like they might be the troublemaker. So Lewis is the troublemaker that has been grabbed by the little blue characters and put in video game jail. But what we're seeing worldwide lets us know that this is not a simple case, right? We are seeing Pluto and Aquarius, right? We are seeing widespread uprisings. We are seeing widespread incidences in countries throughout the world, like Georgia and Romania and Syria, of people in France, of people saying no, of people saying, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. And we're seeing that here in this realm, right? That a lot of people were kind of up in arms about this video game. And they were like, hey, we think that Lewis is a hero. There were people who said Lewis is a hero. And we think that the character that the Lewis character ate in the game was actually the bad character. And we don't think that Lewis is the bad character. And then this caused a lot of consternation for people, because it seems to suggest that people believe in lawlessness and vigilantism and, unaliving people. And that's troublesome, right? But there's actually something much bigger happening that has nothing to do with the details of these little characters in the game. It really has to do with consciousness, planetary-wide consciousness, and people rising up and refusing to be suppressed anymore, refusing to be held down. And that's showing up in different forms. Some people are, throwing off dictators or refusing to undergo martial law. Other people are refusing to allow their lawmakers to skirt law in order to pass legislation without the will of the people, like we saw in France. We're seeing, people in Syria who are like, we're saying no to their dictator. People in Romania who are saying, we're not going to allow you to rig our electrical storm. We're not going to let that stand. We know that this was rigged by foreign characters. So there's a way throughout the world in which people are rising up and people are voicing their, expressing themselves and stepping into their power. And so when we see all of these people kind of rallying behind this video game character, Lewis, and saying, oh, he's, we support him, they're doing that as a way to express their discontent with a system that is oppressive. And the fact that it's so widespread across so many platforms and so many people makes it really obvious to us, kind of logically, that something is going on in the Geitgeist, right? And what I wanted to talk about, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because we have to look at this in the larger context. We have to recognize that people around the world are saying no. They're saying no to the current structure. And so we are going to have a lot of changes in the way the world is structured in coming months and years. And of course, this was predicted by the astro girlies, by the astrologers who said, look, Pluto's going into Aquarius. This is in the past, this has been associated with revolution in France, in Haiti, in Ireland, in the United States. All the revolutions happened the last time Pluto was in Aquarius. But that doesn't mean that we're going to see a revolution that involves, a violet colored revolution. It doesn't necessarily have to be, a violet colored revolution. It could be a blue colored revolution or a white colored revolution. It can be one that's green that involves growth, or blue that involves healing, or white that involves peace. And so there's a lot of different ways to have a revolve or an evolve of a community. And so if we think of that word as, more of revolve, evolve, rather than the word that we usually think of with the T-I-O-N at the end, we can begin to conceptualize it differently. And part of, the evidence for this is in the choice of the people in this realm who voted for the Lotus Queen, because overwhelmingly people did put their tickets in for the Lotus Queen. And this isn't factual information at this point, right? This is just a part of my story. But in the future, the facts are going to match up with the story. And once we have those facts, which, we don't have now, I'm not claiming to have facts, but once we have those facts, then it's going to be a lot easier to see what's going on in this realm, that there is this evolve, revolve already happening. And this is the evidence that it's already happening because of the way that people organized and came out en masse to make this governmental change. And so there's something going on, and I don't have the details, but in this video game, there are a number of characters who were all working together to make this event happen. And this event happened not because of the specificity of the person involved in this event, not even because of the specificity of the company involved in this event, but because of their symbolic importance, which have to do with what the people want changed. And so just like Dana the magician said, we're going to see a lot of structures unraveling. That's a really good way to put it, is that there's going to be a lot of changes happening in a lot of different structures, not just the leadership of the realm, not just healing care, but also the unraveling of the patriarchy, the unraveling of authoritarianism, the unraveling of corporatism, the unraveling of capitalism. And this is just a video game I'm talking about. But you understand, right, that in this video game, there's a lot of change happening. And it's really exciting and it's really positive, even if it's not entirely obvious yet. Please comment with your own insights about this.